Hello, my friends. My name is Richard Weberg, for those of you who do not know me. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about why do people fail in network marketing? Why do they fail in trying to make money online? Why do they fail in MLM, direct sales? I'm going to cover the top reasons, and there's not a lot of them. And I really want you to understand this because this is the main reasons why people fail in anything they try to do. Is number one is they have no skin in the game. It's too easy to quit. And what I mean by that, well, most online opportunities or ways you can start making money online or MLM or network marketing nowadays is really inexpensive to get into. Like the business that we're in, GreatLife Worldwide, cost a whopping $49 one time to get signed up and $20 a month. And you have a full turnkey business. Now, that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. The good thing is that opens the business worldwide to everybody. It makes it affordable. So the barrier of entry is extremely low. But that's the skin in the game. Like when I opened my traditional business, I had two retail stores in my local town, one in my mall and then one downtown. And before I could even open the doors, we had to have $100,000 worth of inventory. And then our rent was $4,000 a month. Our light bill and utility bill, because we live where it's really cold, was another $800 a month. And then employees, taxes, sales tax, just cost of goods. By the time you're in business for yourself, you have a lot of skin in the game. So I couldn't just quit. There was no way I could just quit. In fact, I worked 7 days a week. I was there all of the time and always over 8 hours a day. Always. Why? Because I had so much riding on it. My house, everything was tied into that store's success. My living, everything. So I had to go after it with mad, velocity. I had to be relentless in my pursuit to keep from failing. And it's no different in network marketing or business opportunities or starting some side hustle online to make money. Some of these things cost so little to get started that everybody treats it like it's nothing, I mean, you can go out to eat. Let's face it. You can go out to eat and spend more money than what it costs to start a business online. Literally. I mean, I was talking to my friends the other day and they went out to eat, him and his wife somewhere. And I had never been to that place. And I was like, so how's their food? It was not that great for what it cost. And I was like, well, how much was dinner, for the two of you? And it was like over $100 and some. Okay. So that was one dinner they went out on. Now, that's more than it costs to get in or start most online businesses to make money. But again, people throw away that kind of money all the time. We buy junk. People buy junk all the time that they don't need. Some people have a problem with buying stuff. They buy stuff just because, or they buy it to have more of it, or they want to stock up and they're spending all this money. And starting a business sometimes is like the hardest decision for some people to part with, like let's say it costs $100 to start a business online. Some people really got to think about that, but they'll go out to eat and spend $100 like it's no tomorrow. They'll go to the movies and spend $60 at the show and go out to eat in the same day. They'll go to the bar, some people, and drink $100 away in a night. I mean, there's numerous ways people spend $100, but when it comes to starting a business online, oh my God, sometimes it's like a massive decision of, holy God, $100 or $50, like I said, business wear at $49 your first month and then $20 thereafter. Wow, that's a big decision to get started. Really? I mean, come on. You know, that's the biggest problem. I've been doing this stuff over 22 years online. I have seen people, I kid you not, join us in opportunities 30 times. I've seen people do it 30 times. Why? Because we're in for long haul. We make lots of money. We're not, we know what we're doing. We want to win always. We're hungry. It's too easy to do. I mean, you spend a few hours online marketing your business. But literally, people have joined us like 30 times. People in and out, in and out, in and out. We have people that have joined every little thing we've ever promoted in the last 22 years because we've promoted traffic programs for people to get, their marketing. I used to have a membership site that I grew to over 30 or over 50,000 people. My son had one that he grew to over 40,000 people. I had another traffic site that I owned and I sold that I had built it to over 50,000 members. And you will see people join, quit, come back, pay again, quit, delete their account, come back, pay again. They'll go into one, into another, and it's like a giant roller coaster ride. But it's too easy to quit. That is the biggest reason that more people don't make money in network marketing. It is not hard. It's not physically hard. It's actually very simple. And once you get in a habitual habit of marketing your business because you've developed your why of why you're doing it, it's actually damn right easy because you're doing nothing hard. If you can talk to somebody, if you can share stuff on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or any social media, if you can text people, if you can send messages in Messenger, you can do network marketing. You can make money online. It's not complicated. And we've already covered, it's not expensive. I just can't believe that decision-making process that people have, because I've never been like that, where people are like, God, that's a massive decision. And it's like, what are you talking about? The average McDonald's franchise cost about $2 million to get into. $2 million. And people start McDonald's franchises all the time. Now, the average earnings for a McDonald's franchise owner, meaning what he puts in his pocket, is only $150,000 a year. But it's going to cost him $2 million plus just to get started. Now that's a real business decision. You got to think of this. You are involved at the greatest time in the ways that you can make money. You remember before the internet, if you're, my age or older or even a little bit younger than me, there was no internet. The only way you could make money was work a job or get a second job or a third even. Back in my days, I've had as many as 3 jobs. Or you had to do something, a side hustle in your town, like mow people's lawns, or you had to do something. And it was very hard and very physically demanding. Or you would have to scrimp and save to start a business, or borrow money and start a business, and then have huge, massive risk. See, that's the other thing. There's no risk when you have no skin in the game, so it makes it too easy for people to quit, and they quit all the time. The people who want to be successful are. I mean, I should have never been successful doing this stuff. I mean, I've said this in a million videos. When I was younger and even in my mid-30s and stuff, I still loved to party. I still, one of my favorite pastimes is to go and barbecue and drink beers with my friends and family and eat good food. And I love family. I love camping. I love outdoor activities. And I built a whole gazebo me and my buddy call a spaceship that's an octagon shape with a roof and a fireplace. And we always joke that we're going to sit in there and drink beer till one day that our spaceship, we just take off and, we go into outer space. We go to heaven. We joke about that all the time. I got all these tattoos. My ears are pierced. I'm balding. I don't like dressing up. I am terrible about shaving. I shouldn't be the type of person that is successful. But in network marketing and making money online, you can be anything you want. There are people who never do YouTube videos and make money, like lots of it. This is just one avenue of sharing. There's a million ways of sharing stuff online to reach people. But I don't edit my videos at all. I'm just a down-to-earth person that should have never been successful in this type of stuff. Well, I haven't worked for somebody since I was 38 years old. I haven't had to go to a job. I'm 54. That's pretty amazing. We live in the greatest time ever to make money from the comfort of your home or on a beach or on vacation or traveling or literally. Because when you build the type of business like we're involved in, you build passive residual income. Yes, you do a lot more work in the beginning, but once you have momentum on your side and you have a growing downline team in network marketing, you build passive income and it comes in with very little work on your part. I know people that collect big checks that don't work at all anymore, really. Maybe a couple hours a week. It's up to you and what your end goals are of, there are people who want to earn a lot, there are people who want to earn a lot more, and people who want to earn 7 figures or more. And there are plenty of people in network marketing that are multi-millionaires. In fact, I have said this on my last videos, the last stats for it are that I've looked for direct selling, MLM, and network marketing, how many millionaires have been created through time. The stats that I've read are 15 million millionaires. 15 million. That's a lot. But you got to remember, these types of businesses, network marketing and direct sales, have been around for over 100 years. But that's a lot of millionaires because it involves leverage. That's what the greatest thing about network marketing is. You can make more than a McDonald's franchise because of leverage and cost you almost nothing. And you can make way more money than a McDonald's franchise owner if you do the work. And the work isn't hard. We've already established this. Like I said, if you can text people on your phone, you can talk to people in person, you can send Facebook messages, you can go on Instagram and post stuff, you can send emails. It's not complicated. It's just called sharing. And as people do it every single day. You go to a movie, what do? If the movie was great, you tell everybody about it. If you go out to dinner and the food was horseshit, you tell everybody about it. Don't eat there, man. Their food stinks. That you're promoting. You're either promoting negatively or positively, and you make money all the time for other businesses. Why not make money for yourself promoting? Because that's how hard it is. That's why the number one reason also why I have on the screen here the wrong perception. People, these two things are completely it unless somebody has some kind of big disabilities in their life, but those molds have been broken many times by people who had big enough whys that have overcame anything and been successful. So these two reasons here, the wrong perception is, hey, I'm going to join this. I should get paid like a job. They got the wrong mentality. When I got into business the first time, back when I was 20 in Amway, I knew that it was going to take some time. And I already understood business had to have some kind of risk involved, meaning it had to cost something to do it. And I knew it was going to take time to earn money. But a lot of people come in this with the wrong perception of, they think the money's just going to come magically flowing in. And because it's so easy to quit, they don't really do much. And then they get frustrated because they're not really doing much, but they think they're doing a lot because, maybe they're spending 10 hours a week on their computer. But hey, what business or, making 2, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 40,000, $100,000 a month, what thing like that are you going to start where you could spend 10 hours a week growing it, or 5, 20? It all depends on what you're willing to do, how fast you're willing to do it, how fast you're going to earn. But people, because they walk into it with the wrong perception, because they look at ads and it says, make $3,000 a month, takes you 10 minutes to get set up. Now in their mind, they think they're going to immediately start making $3,000 a month. And they shouldn't be thinking that. Because you're in business. When you do an activity online to make money, unless you're working for a company as a W-2 employee, you're in business for yourself. You don't get paid unless you produce results. So this is the thing, I wrote this down here. This is the last thing, this discovery. This is what happens to people. Discovery is, man, am I excited? First time they see something, or they get involved in network marketing or MLM or a business opportunity online, or they're going to make money using the internet. Man, I'm excited. And, their excitement starts to build at this discovery stage, and it's almost going straight up. And they get up here, and pretty soon they're like, I'm going to have to do some stuff. All right, I'll try a little bit. I'll do a few things. Well, they go about doing a few things. They don't get no results. So now they're starting to plateau. And they do a little bit more. In the lifespan, they quit. Let's say 1 to 3 months. They quit. And now they're dropping way down here. Ugh, that sucks. You can't make any money doing that. Oh my God. Let me bash that. That was horrible. And then, oops, they see something else online. Ooh, sparks fly. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be much easier. That's going to be, oh my God. And woo, they start climbing that plateau and boom, they're up at the top again. And now they're really high again and they're doing a little bit. Maybe they're doing a little bit more than last time. Maybe they get one sale. Maybe they, recruit somebody in their downline and then they don't do anything because they have no skin in the game. So 4 weeks go by and they forgot about their business because they only made $10 so far. And they forgot about it. And pretty soon they come back to it. Maybe they do a little bit more. And now again, oh God, that sucks. I'm not making any money. So now maybe they spent, 4 to 6 months in, 8 months, something like that. 10 months. And then, ooh. And then it happens again. Boo, 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 boo. The fireworks are going off. Another business. Oh my God, this one just launched. It's brand new. How can I fail at this? I'm going to get massive spillover from these people. This is brand new. And they get in. And again, repeat the process. I see this daily doing this stuff. And it's like, God, wake up. You get involved in a business, make a good choice, and then run with it. You have to be committed. It's just like opening McDonald's franchise. Do you want to make $150,000 a year? Well, then pretend like it cost you $2 million to get it started. Even a lawn mowing business costs money more than what it costs to make money online. You want to start a lawn mowing business and you don't have all the equipment already. You're talking a riding lawnmower, which, you don't want a piece of junk that's going to break down on you. So you probably need a brand new one. You're talking $3,000 or more for a good one. A push mower. So you're going to have one of those too. Again, you don't want a pile of crap that don't work. So that's probably going to cost you $300-400. Then you're going to want a couple weed whackers because something goes wrong with one of them. You should have more than two. The last weed whacker I bought cost like $400 because I bought a battery powered one that I really loved. It was $400. Amazing brand, amazing weed whacker. So you're going to need a couple of those. Oh, you're going to need gas all the time. You're going to need a lot of gas. Gas isn't cheap. You're going to need insurance because when you damage somebody's house or their garage or something like that, you're going to need some liability insurance, some business insurance that's going to cover you because the chances of damaging something or you shoot a rock through, the person's car window or something, you're going to need some insurance to cover you. Okay? You're going to need insurance. Probably should turn it into like an LLC or something for more protection because you are on other people's property. You are using equipment, so that's going to cost you. We're online, network marketing, MLM, business opportunities. You don't have to create an LLC. You can do it as a sole proprietor, meaning you don't have to do anything. You can just sign up and get started. Well, lawn mowing business probably shouldn't do it that way. You're going to have expenses, and if you're going to do multiple lawns, you're going to have to hire an employee, you're going to have to pay the employee. You have more skin in the game in a lawn mowing business. But just realize that MLM and network marketing, if you want it to be a huge business, it can be. But you're going to need to treat it like one. Not treat it like it's a little tiny hobby and you're hoping someday you're going to make money from it. Pick up your phone, send some emails out every single day. Treat it like you spent $2 million. I got to work my business today. I got to work my business today. That's the way I always felt. No matter what, I got to work my business today. Why? Because I'm hungry and I realized this stuff worked when I first got involved online 22 years ago. I knew the internet was going to be huge with network marketing and MLM, that the future would eventually envision that, and it has. It's embraced it immensely. You have turnkey opportunities like the one we're involved in, GreatLife Worldwide. You can literally, 10 minutes, you're in business and off to the races, and you can pick up your phone, you can start emailing people, you can go to Messenger, start sharing, and you can sell products and services, you can build a huge downline, and you can make all the kind of money you want. But you're never going to do that unless you treat it like a real business, my friends. You got to treat it like a real business. Otherwise, you're going to be one of the statistics who quit. But it's your fault. It's nobody else's fault. And if you chose a bad company and the company crumbled or anything like that, so what? You ain't got no skin in the game anyway. Find a new one. Find a better one. Do more due diligence the next time. Quit joining scams or schemes. There are a lot of those out there too. They're not even real businesses. So make sure you know somebody you trust to give you advice of what to get into if you keep picking stuff that falls apart instantly. Because you're doing it all wrong. There are people who earn from network marketing that have passed on their income to other family members because of great companies. It's called creating legacy income. And that's what we're in the business for. Okay? So I got wound up in this video because it really bothers me with all the stuff that I see day to day of people and how they quit so easy because, it don't cost anything. They ain't got any skin in the game, and their perception, because they have no skin in the game, and because most people come from a working background of working 9 to 5, of course. I already had business in me when I came online looking to make money. But it really bothers me when I see this every day. And I talk to people all the time that have been in so many things that'll make your head spin, literally. And that's why they fail. You got to market the things to make money. And the last thing is that, the reason I get wound up or passionate about this is because I know if I can do this, and I'm not just saying that, I know if I can do this, you can do it too. So other than that, my friends, I hope you have a great day, and we will see you on another video.